Hello and welcome to A Crow in Her Garden. Today is June 1st and I'm excited to take you all on our official summer garden tour. I've finally got everything that I'm going to grow planted out. So let's take a look and see what I've got in my garden this year. Over here on this side, I've got some tomatoes and peppers and a little bit of basil. So right here I have California Wonder bell peppers, these three right here. And then those three in the back are pimento peppers. And right here is just a little bit of lemon basil. I'm expecting for these to get really tall like they always do. I've got cherry tomatoes that are going to fill up this whole trellis this time. So these are my Rosella Cherry tomatoes. They're looking good. I'm excited. And then I've got some Mammolo basil here and here. Just interplanted with the tomatoes just to fill up the space, and also this can help deter pests because they smell the basil rather than the tomato plants. Here in this garden bed, I decided to plant my Roma tomatoes in a different spot this year. And this is a different variety. This is called Suprema Roma tomatoes. I got the seeds from Botanical Interest at my local Ace Hardware. I'm hoping these do good. We shall see. Going on down the line here, this is a new garden bed that a friend of mine and I put together with the trellis. And I've got my cucumber plants. I'm fairly certain these are miniature white cucumbers right here. I planted a handful of seeds, but only 2 of them sprouted, but I'm not too concerned because I know they'll send off some runners and suckers or whatever to hopefully fill up this trellis. And then around here, I've got some holy basil. And then these are my banana peppers. Last year, I only had a couple of these. I planted a lot more because I love them so much. They were so good and I want to have more of them. My son, he also likes them too. I couldn't keep them long enough. He snacked on them and ate them all up. So, and some more holy basil right there. So down here, these 4 beds, I actually have always planted my Roma tomatoes in them. But last year they didn't do so well, so I decided to change things up. I did put more soil in these, and I'm going to grow my okra in them and see how that does. This is orange Jing okra. I grew these last year. They produce almost red okra, and it's very delicious. Here, I've got a few of the Armenian yard-long cucumber plants. Well, I think something's getting to my cucumbers. Not sure what that is. But hopefully these other 2 will fare out okay. So here, you wouldn't believe this, but these are potatoes, and they have just exploded in growth. We had a lot of rain about a few weeks ago. We just had a massive amount of rain, and since then, I just can't believe how tall they've gotten and how bushy the plants are. I'm really excited to see how much potatoes I'm going to be getting. And this is only 9 potatoes that I planted in this garden bed, which is kind of hard to see because of how large the green leafy growth is. Here's my sage, which I cut back a lot, and it's still come back. Just a couple days ago, I had to cut it back quite a bit because I've planted more thyme. My thyme that I've had for the last 3 years bit the dust. This past winter, I think we had a really hard freeze and it just kind of did it in. But I'm hoping for this time to do really well. And this is dill, which I am about to be harvesting quite a bit off of it. And around on the other side, I've got some rosemary, but I'll show you when I get to that point. Over here on this side, I have more Mammolo basil, and these are my Berry's Crazy Cherry tomatoes. These are those yellow cherry tomatoes. They're my favorite ones. They taste so good. Around here on this side, I have cinnamon basil here. And then these are my jalapeno peppers. Got 4 plants all spaced out this time. I'm looking forward to making lots of cowboy candy and pickled jalapenos. Circling around to this side, this is a new tomato variety I'm growing this year called Cherokee Purple. And another basil plant, Mammolo basil tucked in there. Whenever they get taller, I will show you all how I do my string trellising. That's what these strings are hanging right here. This is by far the best method I have found to trellis tomatoes. Here I've got a couple of Dad's Sunset tomatoes. This is my favorite slicer that I've grown so far. It grows a deep orange yellow tomato, very sweet. Best tomato sandwich you've ever had, right there from those tomatoes. My chocolate mint bed. I need to come out here and give it another mow. I don't think this mint will ever die. Here's another look at the dill. And as you can see, I need to cut my sage back yet again because this is the rosemary and it's being somewhat crowded out by everything. And the potatoes. I still can't get over how much the potatoes have grown. Once you see your potatoes start to flower and the flowers die back, 2 weeks after that, if you wanted to start harvesting them, you could. But I'm going to let them grow longer this time because I would like to get bigger potatoes. So it will probably be potentially the end of the month, if not July, when I harvest these. Coming around down to this side again. These are my Taiwan yard-long beans. And believe it or not, I did not plant a single one of these. These all came back from volunteer seeds that had fallen from the dried up bean pods that I left. So these are all completely volunteer, and I'm just giving them a little bit of help getting them to grow up this trellis. I probably will have to end up pulling some of them because some of them are creeping on to the trellis where my cucumbers are supposed to be growing. So, and then over here on this side, these are also all volunteer. Did not plant any of them, and look how tall they're getting. Already up on the trellis. I'm looking forward to having another 40 pounds of green beans off of these plants again. Looks like something's been munching on them. Around over here I've got my onions. It's the first time I've grown onions. They've been in the ground since, I want to say October or November last year. I started these seeds and planted them out here, and I actually harvested my first onion today. It was right there. The stem had completely fallen over, and I've been told that once they get like that, once the stems are just have fallen over that they are ready to pick. They're not going to do anything else. So these ones are still kicking it, but I do believe, honestly, this one, well, looky here. You guys get to be with me. I'm going to harvest this onion. Once the stems are floppy, that's what I've been told, that they're ready to harvest. So yay for that! Woohoo! This looks like it kind of split a little bit. I think these are early Texas Grano onions. Well, that's very exciting. My second onion of the day. So now I'll just be watching and waiting for these last few onions to be done. But honestly, since I've